You need to stop everything. This needs to stop now. This is not okay. This needs to stop now. This is cancer. This is so much cancer that I can feel the tumors growing on my back. And it's way down heavy on me, and it's not okay. Can you help a nigga out and just stop this? Please? Just stop. Just stop it. Stop. No. Just stop it.
Hi guys and welcome to Lightsabers and Rosaries. This is now my fourth video about the Disney Plus Kenobi series. I've so far reviewed episode 1, episode 2. So if you're interested, I strongly encourage you to watch my previous 2 reviews. And I've also produced one video about the recent statement issued by Star Wars regarding the racist fans attacking Moses Ingram, who plays Reva. And I just gave like my 2 cents about it and what do I think about this entire situation and whether or not this criticism is actually racist or just totally valid. But anyway, let's get to the topic of today's video, and it's going to be the review of the episode 3 of the Kenobi series, and I'm going to give you all my thoughts about it, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So yeah, let's do just that. So let's start with the good. It's going to be easy because there's not really much of that. I like that finally Leia has got some moments when she does look like a child. She's got her vulnerability, she's scared for like one scene. Not much, but at least she looks more like a kid rather than some 30-year-old mature woman that knows everything about life she has to know. And Obi-Wan has to comfort her, so this is really nice, I like it. But unfortunately, just after that, she comes back to her Liliana Mormont face and acts exactly the same way that she did in all the episode 1 and 2. She's obviously still smarter than Obi-Wan. She basically calls the shots, At the beginning of the episode, they land on some desolated mining world where she is totally in charge. She's basically following her own plan, and Obi-Wan, being dampened down, obviously just goes along with whatever Leia says. He acts in an incredibly weird way. It's even hard for me to describe his attitude at that point. It just seems like he's completely incapable of doing absolutely anything at this point, really. He's not even like broken, dampened down, or depressed, or PTSD, or whatever, people are making up to excuse his ridiculous portrayal. It's just not any of it, Honestly, it just looks like he's not even there. Like, it's just some man, soulless, without anything. He's dead inside. He doesn't have any personality. He's got nothing. He's just a walking corpse at that point. This is what Obi-Wan has become. He's a walking zombie. So Leia obviously is the brains. And, I'm waiting for her to also become the muscles. Because I think soon we're gonna have just that. I honestly wait for Leia to like grab Obi-Wan lightsaber and just go full berserk with it, killing like everybody and then like taking down Darth Vader himself. I'm waiting for that crap to happen and I will not even be surprised. And the dialogue between Leia and this driver that gives them a ride is just absolutely ridiculous. She's basically staging that Obi-Wan is her dad and they are on some trip, and this driver just goes along with it. And then just further on, Obi-Wan is just shown as an incapable idiot because they pick up some stormtroopers on the way and he nearly blows up their disguise by accidentally calling Leia by her real name, not the one she's made up, and I just cannot see that. I cannot see General, Jedi Master, soldier, warrior that Obi-Wan is to be that silly and stupid. I can understand the stress, I can understand, inconvenience and all that shit, but he's been through stress before, like, go with the entire arc at Mandalore, for instance, in Clone Wars. I don't want to throw in spoilers here, guys, But really, Obi-Wan has been through some serious stuff even before the Order 66, and he's never been that silly. And then obviously just Leia again gives him some psychological evaluation, just way too mature for her age. She's acting like she's some freaking 35-year-old. Then they're just having some conversation about family, and Obi-Wan just casually admits that he's been part of a Jedi Order right next to this driver, that they have no idea who he is and whether he's not going to sell them. He's also totally aware that they're being hunted by Inquisitors and that Anakin wants to get him, but he's got no issues whatsoever to publicly announce that he's a Jedi. And I'm just like,
You need to stop everything. This needs to stop.
and then, they're just stopping on a checkpoint where Obi-Wan casually allows his face to be scanned entirely, and the image gets sent right to Darth Vader and Inquisitor, so now they totally know where he is. And then I was like hoping that we're gonna have some lightsaber fight, but nah, Obi-Wan just kills everyone with a blaster, and after that gets himself captured, because like 4 stormtroopers arrive and it's apparently some big issue to just take them down for him. So he decides to like completely surrender and just drops the gun onto the floor. But obviously one of the officers happens to be a spy, and she kills all of them and basically just takes Leia and Obi-Wan to safety. And obviously we've got yet another powerful female character, totally capable, and this damaged Obi-Wan on the way. And I just want to point out how utterly ridiculous this scene is. Obi-Wan just killed like 5 of them and a droid, and he had like no issues with that, as he should not have. But then suddenly, like what, 4 more of them arrive and he's just surrendering? This is just ridiculous. That would just get him killed. Like, he knows they are hunting for him, and also he's well aware that Anakin would sooner or later figure out that Leia is his daughter, and then would just use her for his purposes that are probably not that good. And he's just like surrendering to 4 stormtroopers because, why not? Like, fully going to the ground, dropping the blaster, like, hands on the ground, it's just ridiculous. So fast forward, guys, Anakin appears, dressed obviously in the full Darth Vader costume, and as he charges through the entire town, he like force drags people out of the window, snaps their necks, and I really feel like that cruelty is totally unnecessary, I think even for Darth Vader. Like, wouldn't that just inspire people to rebel against the Empire and just hate you? Original Vader definitely, called the shots, and yeah, he was ruthless, but I don't think he pointlessly tortured random people just for the lols, because there's no reason in doing this. It's not even interrogation, it's just nothing. He just walks down the street and like kills some random boy and then like drags people out of the window. It doesn't make any sense. I guess they just want to show how ruthless the Empire is and stuff, and obviously I understand that, but this cruelty is just the cruelty for the sake of cruelty. It does not make any logical sense. And in the original trilogy, we definitely see Vader being ruthless and cruel, but it always had some purpose. He wasn't cruel for the sake of being cruel. Darth Vader was not Joffrey Baratheon or Ramsay Bolton. And obviously, Obi-Wan absolutely shits himself to the core when he sees Anakin, and I totally do not understand why. I mean, yes, Anakin is strong, but didn't Obi-Wan already defeat him? I mean, is he really that much of a threat? Because honestly, guys, he totally just shits himself. Absolutely, he's terrified to his core. And I just don't understand why. Why is Obi-Wan so terrified? I could understand, in the trilogy, people Leia, or I don't know, Han Solo being afraid of Darth Vader, and I believe there are some shots in the Rebels where characters also are shown to be pretty much shitting themselves when they even hear of him, but I don't understand why that would be the case with Obi-Wan. Why? Why would Obi-Wan be so unbelievably terrified of Anakin? It just doesn't make any sense, in my opinion, again. So basically, Obi-Wan runs, and I was thinking that he runs to confront Anakin, and there's going to be some major confrontation, and at the same time, the other lady just takes Leia, and she escapes with her. But yeah, I was wrong about that. And I think, guys, I'm just going to show you what happens. Yeah, that's it. You've seen that correctly. He just runs away. And you know what's the worst? If you look closely, it looks like he doesn't even know how to switch his lightsaber on. Like, I have no words, you know. Eventually, Anakin catches up with him and forces him to unleash his lightsaber. So I was like, yeah, thank you, Hayden. Thank you for that, at least. And this moment is really cool, you know. It finally felt like Star Wars, you know. We had Obi-Wan with his unleashed lightsaber, and then this very typical Star Wars music starts playing. And that was my favorite moment in this entire episode, when it actually looked like Star Wars. But unfortunately, soon after that, it was Disney again. So they have this duel when Vader basically fights at like 20% of his strength, doesn't even go for it because Obi-Wan is so damaged. So Anakin doesn't even have to try to defeat him, he's like already defeated. And then there is another quite cool scene that Vader basically sets everything on fire and drags Obi-Wan through it to make him burn as some kind of revenge. And I've actually really liked that scene. I thought it was very cool. And it really looked bad for Obi-Wan. It seemed like Vader is going to kill him. But suddenly he just releases him because reasons and just doesn't proceed. And that just gives enough time to that female Imperial officer to come and rescue him. And Vader just lets them go. He just walks away from the scene without doing anything. And it looks like he calls the entire operation off. There's just I don't really understand what happened here. Like, what the hell have I just watched? You know, I'm like shocked. The only good thing about this episode was the appearance of Darth Vader, and I think I like it only because I really am a fan of Hayden Christensen, and I just really like Anakin Skywalker personally, and I think that's the only reason why I like this because of my personal investment rather than that it was actually good. I have absolutely loved that scene where he just unleashes his lightsaber and is ready to take Obi-Wan down. That was easily the coolest shot in this entire series so far. And that's really how the episode concludes, you know, just a strong female character taking Obi-Wan away that's really badly burned, and Riva basically closing down on Leia. That's it. And you know, it really is like in the book of Boba Fett, where Boba is the shittiest, the most lame and pathetic, like useless, incapable character, and everybody else shines completely. And considering that now Obi-Wan is really badly injured, I'm just wondering how much of him we are going to have in the next episodes, or is this just going to be like in the book of Boba when he basically disappeared for a couple of episodes? You know, you just could have called it the Leia Organa show. There's really no point pretending that it is about Obi-Wan. So, as far as I know, this show is going to have 6 episodes, so we're basically halfway through it. But I think the only thing that can make it more bearable at that point is only Darth Vader. I hope they will not lame him down, at least. Just leave at least Darth Vader cool. However, there was one moment in this episode that makes me question that, when he just stands in front of this fire and doesn't do anything to capture Obi-Wan. He just stands there and lets him leave. That's very weird. And I've seen some idiotic reviews, people claiming that he's got PTSD, obviously, because nowadays everybody has got PTSD, and he's afraid to pass through that fire, which is the most ridiculous nonsense I have ever heard in my entire life, I think. Yeah, he's so afraid of a freaking fire that he built his castle on Mustafar. Like, I just have no words. And that's just another fashion that is very common, not only in productions, Hollywood, but also among people nowadays, just looking for traumas and PTSD in everybody. It's just ridiculous. And still, we have no explanation on how the hell Riva knows that Anakin Skywalker is Darth Vader, and that he actually even had a duel with Obi-Wan in the past, and that Obi-Wan probably thinks he's dead and is going to be shocked to learn that he actually is alive. That wasn't explained. And I don't think it will be, because I think we all know at that point that consistency, logic, lore, canon just doesn't matter anymore. And what matters is just good visuals and female empowerment, some, nonsense ideology and crap like that, rather than the actual movie. So that would be all for today, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I personally am really enjoying making them for you, and I'm really glad that so far you guys really like them. Let me know what are your thoughts on this episode, and if you want to support my channel, just hit that like button, subscribe, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye, guys.